Hey everybody, welcome back to Gardening in Zone 6. I'm Marty Sage of Sage Gardens, and today I want to make a video of how to start seeds, or how I start seeds. It's real simple. Here in my basement I just use regular shop lights for light, and so let's get started. So today I've got some sweet basil, some purple ruffles basil, and some cinnamon or Mexican basil. It's got a nice cinnamon fragrance to it. Now, I use different size trays. This is a small one. I also have the larger flats, but I'm gonna use these for each variety of basil. There's like 100 seeds in each package. And then the mix is just a seed starting mix I have here. It's made out of coconut fiber, perlite, and a little bit of organic fertilizer mixed in. So what I do is I just make a little furrow like with my finger, and then I've got the seeds. I'm gonna have 3 of them here. That should be enough for a decent amount of seeds. I'm gonna do the sweet basil, and you can see how small these seeds are, which brings me to another thought, that how can something so small produce a plant that gets pretty big, you can eat, use for cooking, whatever. Same thing with anything. I mean, other seeds are larger, whether it's squash or tomatoes or whatever, but to think that that all just happened by accident one day, the whole world was poof and all this stuff came into existence. I don't know. To me, it's easier to believe there's a God that did that. So anyway, I'll take some seeds and I'm gonna sprinkle them since they're so small. And I want to make sure I get a good germination rate, because a lot of seeds are different. Some germinate a lot better than others, and some, like carrots, usually have a lower germination rate. So say you planted 10 seeds and 4 of them came up, well, that's only 40% of that. So I'll put the extras back in. I'll cover it up a little bit. Press down lightly. Now I'm going to take some water and just water it in. Get it good and moist. And then I'm going to cover it with some clear plastic. And this is something that I actually just learned this year. After all these years of starting seed, I normally would sometimes I'd use newspaper or even plastic, saran wrap, whatever, and I would just put it in a warm place to germinate. But then sometimes I might not check it that often, and you get these real tall, skinny, leggy plants And so this year I thought, well, the basement's not that warm, costs too much to heat it, as I think a lot of you all probably have experienced. So I have only had the vent open a little bit. So anyway, I did this, and then when they germinated, these are some broccoli and cauliflower plants, and they came right up. And then these are a little bit newer, so they're smaller, but they germinated. The heat, a little bit of warmth from the shop light, and the plastic covers to hold in moisture, and they germinated. And then once they came up, the light from the shop light goes right through the plastic, and you don't get tall, leggy plants. And then you can take the plastic off and put them back under the light. And then once they get a little bigger, or maybe start to show the true leaves, these aren't true leaves, I'll transplant them into separate containers. So this row here is a purple cauliflower that's interesting. When you cook it, it's supposed to stay purple, but you don't have to, what they call blanching, like with white cauliflower. You have to tie the leaves up over the head because the sunlight causes the white head to start turning brown. It doesn't really hurt it, it just looks bad. So that, you don't have to do that. And then this is just some broccoli. And it's time pretty soon to plant out broccoli and cauliflower, cabbage, stuff like that, because they like cool, chillier weather. They're not hot weather plants. So anyway, that's about it for today, I suppose. It's a real inexpensive way of doing this. These little plastic flats are cheap. The shop lights are not expensive. And actually I got some new ones because some of the old ones didn't really work well. And I got these LEDs that's just like a strip inside, and they're really bright. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to perform. And when you use shop lights, you know, it's not as intense as sunlight, so basically 16 hours a day, but I don't turn them off and on. Too much of a hassle, so I just leave them on 24 hours a day, and the plants do fine. And then as the plants get taller, then I'll just raise the light up, because you want to keep them an inch or less above the plants, so they get the more intensity of the light. And also you don't want them touching, because it can kind of burn the leaves, even though they're not super hot. You know, most of fluorescents are cool white, but so it's real cheap, inexpensive. I like to start seeds on tomatoes, peppers, and broccoli and stuff like this, because you have so much of a choice of so many varieties, you know, that you can choose from. And especially in tomatoes and peppers. Tomatoes, there's hundreds and hundreds of different varieties and colors and everything, and so you get to pick what you want instead of like going to the store, Home Depot, wherever, and you only got a few different varieties of what they have. So if you wanted the heirloom or open pollinated, there's a big variety you can choose from when you get your own seed. So anyway, thanks for watching. And also, sorry, I forgot. What I want to do, I started with the seed starting, and I want to take it all the way through harvesting of these plants, so everyone can see, you know, what happens. It takes about 8 weeks, say, for broccoli and tomatoes and stuff before they're ready to transplant outside. And so that's what I want to do. I want to take everybody through that step with fertilizing, planting, looking for pest or disease problems, until we can harvest it and eat it. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Next time I'll probably be transplanting these broccoli into individual uh, cells or containers, because I plan on selling a lot of these at the farmers market later on in April when it opens. So have a blessed day and good gardening to you. Thanks. Bye.